the moon. In all ways, it is not Hanamura.
I mean, at this point, I already see Reach. He's hovering over the Doomfist, and I'm hoping that he does pull the bye week. Just do it for us. Just do it for us. You know, you're basically mathematically out, right, of contention for playoffs. Now just start flossing. Start showing off.
You know who doesn't want to see Reach do that? Mayhem.
Yeah.
Because Mayhem would really like to get the 3rd seed and not 4th, but right now it is looking like they'd be looking more towards the 4th. In any case, Reach is not going to go full bye week, something that perhaps you should never do. He is instead going to be going on the Widow. No, now Genji. He's keeping us guessing.
Yeah, the defense, though, for XL2 Academy, they are going to be going for that Junkrat Widowmaker, so you do have to be careful. A lot of pick potential. It's just basically even the spam coming up from Mingachu that can get them that pick for them. But Midnight, he's the one on the Roadhog, so they're not as defensive as they would normally like to be, but still they have a lot of firepower behind this comp.
And LNL, they usually don't wait too long. They go straight in once he sees an opportunity. They're going to use Winston Shield here early on to buy a little bit of cover, but not enough. Dummy gets gummed up and taken down by Flower very early in this fight. And already XL2 has LNL a bit in check. They don't have the Zenyatta marked targets on heal, and Mangachu is just slowly and surely starting to evict them from the room they took up without paying rent.
Yeah, it's the halt, hook, shoot combo coming out from the LNL. They do have to be cognizant of that. They should be aware of that and how that works. So right now we do have Kefzer trying to get onto the high ground, but he took a mine, and now he's down to about 35 HP. He will get healed up. He needs to get onto the point. He needs to start drawing these forces away from the high ground.
Well, they have to wait a little bit here because they're in the awkward position where it's still better for Fry to try and get his mech out here, but he doesn't quite have it yet, so they have to wait for him to remech. LNL just getting delayed on all ends.
Now he will have that mech. It's Kefzer. Oh. Might have gotten spotted out. It's because he does clear that trap now as he backs away 33 HP.
That could have been worse. I almost feel like he opened the door and it's like, wait, I don't want to deal with this. You know what? I'll kill the trap and run on through. Ends up getting through without getting hurt. But on the same note, this is the same issue that LNL's had before, where LNL's not being super aggressive. Flower, the long grapple out of harm's way, but Midnight falls. He got caught in the rotational switch up here. He's gonna get brought back up, Adam risking it. Flower might have gone down, but you have Midnight back into the fray, able to land hooks, got decaught out of the fight. Mangachu still untouched, and XL2 has plenty of tools to come back onto the point and just keep LNL out. And you see the blade out from reach, but he gets chunked immediately. Can't really throw his body into the point and ends up falling to Mangachu with the mine right to the face.
And Flower is now swapping off onto the Tracer just to get to the point back to the point faster. And so he is in the fray here. Mangachu getting focused down. He will fall as Decon has made his way on in, but the res is there. Clone Man is brought back up. XL2 do stabilize, and so now LNL will have to back away. Mangachu, even though he's all the way back at the original spawn, he's got the rib tire, so LNL have to be careful making their way on in.
And again, initiation has not been LNL's strong suit. Even in this game, you've had issues where they don't go in as aggressive as they should, and you end up losing dummy immediately. Here comes the tire for Mangachu. And there goes the tire for Mangachu. So they get rid of the threat early on, reach on the Widow swap, able to deal with that effectively. And XL2 still in a fine spot, but getting drawn back. LNL, though, at some point, you gotta put bodies there on the objective, and they're not doing that right now.
No, there is the sound barrier out now, but Ajax could only connect onto about 2 people there. And so that's the sound barrier just going largely wasted. Transcendence to double down into this fight. Here comes the self-destruct out, but Midnight is trying to get the D-Mech. He will with the whole hog out now. He's dropped down to 70 HP, not getting any heals. Reach will finish him off.
Reach is opening up in the back and trying to make a lemonade out of lemons, where they layered both support ults to very low effect, but it's Reach over and over again in the back, connecting on targets. 4 kills so far from Reach. And talk about turning a team fight around that probably had no business being turned around. Reach making the Widow play work when everything was going against LNL.
And this is how we were almost introduced to Reach during his first match, as he went off on the Widowmaker here on Horizon. And he is having that same effect now. So, last night's leftovers, they will secure A. We move on to B. There's going to be 4 minutes and 20 seconds for them. Mangachu, though, with another tire can slow down this approach.
Yeah, XL2, they wisely decide, maybe we don't want to actually throw everyone and their mother back at the point. Instead, we're just going to wait. we're gonna wait. We'll have a good tire here. LNL doesn't have too much on the point. Now, you do have to respect Reach because he tore you apart on the last point. But other than that, you could almost rely on LNL to beat themselves in some of these engages. I mean, if they're gonna layer support ults the way they did, you wait for them to move in. Here comes the tire from Mangachu. Up over the top, just looking for a target here, and gonna get more. Both supports down, fight over.
Yep, that is definitely fight over, as Reach has to back away himself. Now he's getting hunted down. Mangachu wants to find the purple smug lady, but he'll be able to make it out now. Flower looks like he wants to swap off. What is he gonna go to?
All right, this is one way of dealing with the Widowmaker. You bring your own Widowmaker and hope that your Widow has a bigger ego and better play.
Hey, it's Flower, so yeah, I think he might have the bigger ego, but you did get chucked down just a little bit. We do have the Soldier 76 swap coming up from Reach, so interesting oppositional change coming out from them as Flower will start backing away.
This is still fine. The Widow-Soldier matchup, it can be quite good for Widowmaker in this moment. Now, I think Flower would have more reason to perhaps go back over the Tracer in this situation. But LNL just going to casually move on to the point, start getting a little bit of progress. Mangachu picked off. Reach working with a great position as Kevster takes that too. There will be no counter Widow play as LNL just opens up XL2 Academy, and suddenly XL2 in the hot seat. They have to transcend the buy time. Goliath out of position, ends up falling. Midnight gonna self-destruct on the point. Again, to wait for time, and oh, it's not a Doomfist. Mangachu getting to the frame, punches Dummy into oblivion, ends up falling, but they're starting to disrupt this as the ice wall comes up.
Yeah, Kevster's trying to keep this alive on the point as Reach has to adjust himself. He's onto the high ground now. Primal Rage is used by Decon just to keep him alive, but there's a nano boost on to Clone Man. He's trying to hunt down this Diva. We'll get the D-Mech now. He can back away if he wants as he's hacked. Never mind. Can't really back away because he doesn't have
he got picked up!
Primal Rage to use because of the hack.
He was just needing a few more seconds, and no, he's taken out of the fight. That's huge. Reach starting to get clean up for LNL, moving it quite back the other way. Mangachu still on the Doomfist. Flower melted by Reach in the moment. The May not able to get the ice onto the point, and LNL just a few kills away from securing this. All 6 members are alive. You see Mangachu just looking, who do I punch? Well, probably no one. They're well protected here. A late Primal Rage from Clone Man, now able to use it, but still unable to get the pick off. LNL very, very close to finishing this off. They lost Decon, they have to deal with one more wave of respawns, but they're not dealing with Midnight on the point. Midnight got rid of Fried, and XL2 has a chance to come back out here.
Yeah, there is another sound barrier out from Ajax now, and still it's the kills going over in favor of LNL. Hack out from, the EMP out from Dummy, and this might just be enough for them. And so no one's able to make it onto the point. LNL with 1 minute and 23 seconds. And so that's a good time bank for them, especially with how much they were stumbling and actually just trying to get onto the point. That was a really great stagger coming out from XL2, but the thing is, when you do have to go for those staggers, you kind of want someone to actually build up an ultimate, but they were swapping everyone off. It was everyone just kind of like playing musical chairs with whatever hero they wanted to play to go for the stall.
And you had that pulse bomb from Kevster that was able to open that up, where Flower was still playing, I'm going to deal with the hit scan on top. Wasn't able to do it because he gets blown up, and that gave Reach more room to work with. So the 76 swap working out quite well for LNL in the moment. And it sort of shows that LNL, if they have a weakness here, it is just on point A, where their engages were sloppy to begin with. And it was really Reach playing out of his mind to make that happen, because if you go back and look at the fight that won, and I were to tell you the first 4 steps to how they won that fight, it doesn't sound like a one fight. It's like, first, use barrier, don't use it well. Then use transcendence and layer it on top, and don't get anything. You're just like, wait, how is this one fight? Third, Widow kills everyone. It's like, okay.
No, it was a great swap off. It was actually a really smart swap off because I believe Flower was running back from spawn, so he had already swapped off onto the Tracer. So at that point, Reach didn't have to worry about taking the Widow battles anymore. And also, it just completely changed the tempo, right? Teams were already fighting on points. Reach understood that, hey, if they're fighting on point, that means their barrier is probably out of position, and there's that huge gaping hole that he can go after, and that's where he connected all of his shots from now. XL2, this is something they do. They run Mangachu on the May. So this is not a troll pick at all. Clone Man's going to be on the Reinhardt as they do. So this is a composition that they have run in the past. If they don't like it, they will just go out for full dive. We'll see how well this works out for them. Flower is once again on the Widowmaker.
Clone Man trying to ham it up a bit on the point, and XL2 going to be running not quite a Slambulance setup here, but they're going to be running a May, so they're looking for a pick-off to be Flower. They're looking to split things off with the May. It's hardly a conventional composition, but we'll see how it works out. It is Mangachu kind of flexing on his increased hero pool, and in fact, XL2 have run this with Flower on the May before as well, so not something too crazy, but Mangachu does fall early, which is going to make this approach pretty rough.
Yeah, and you see already, LNL, they get the pick, and then they instantly just hide behind that shield. They don't need to overextend themselves now, as Clone Man might just get caught out, but no, he's able to back away. Goliath, though, is low.
Kevster has himself in a really dangerous position, given that there's another Widow here. He's not trying to hide behind shields. He's exposing himself to Flower, and that means at some point, Flower is going to punish him for this, because he's going to open up, go to an area where he can get peeked, and look, Flower is going to be looking for him all the while, and that showdown might just happen here in a moment.
Just a moment. Now, we don't actually get to go out here often, but that's a great wall off. They might actually be able to take out Decon. He will fall.
The wall sets up, but there's the tire. Reach gonna get Goliath. A huge portion of their healing is down, but because they've lost two, XL2's able to set up in the moment. They're able to make the space around, and Clone Man, what a flank coming in from the side, getting all sorts of cleave done. He might get harassed a little bit by the Roadhog, but he's still okay as Mangachu got both supports. He was there on the flank and got both before Kevster shut him down. Here comes XL2. This should be a tank, especially with the supports out.
Yeah, the whole hog is going to come out from Fried, but Adam will clean him up now. And Flower, he's getting pressured just a bit, but as Kevster tries to make his way onto the point, he will be finished off. XL2, I feel like they shouldn't have been able to execute that the way they did. LNL spotted them. I believe, yeah, Kevster should have seen them all go out into the right-hand side through the blast doors. That should not have worked out for them at all.
Well, I just think the wall cut off guard. How often do you play against May in this situation? Yeah. And the reality is, not too often. If it happens in your ranked games, you're just like, May, please swap. So it is an unconventional approach that very few players can make. Mangachu's one of those players. Moving on to a point, very close to a blizzard now. XL2 committing just about everything up at the moment. They get the early DMAC, and they make it chilly in here. Mangachu building ice sculptures here on the point. 3 unanswered plays coming in from XL2, and they double down. They drop the barrier onto the point, and they're just looking for clean up in the moment. 2 ticks are about to be theirs, and LNL, they come out the Transcendence, they're trying to buy time. They don't get anything off, and they're getting Clement, you got brother range! He does, just in the nick of time! Flower gets picked off, but XL2 keeping the pressure up. 2 ticks to their name.
2 ticks to their name, but Flower has just fallen here, and so now Clone Man with the Primal Rage is trying to get them anything else, but that biotic nade has been a constant thorn in his side, and so he's down to 100 HP. He will fall. And with these kills onto the tanks, LNL should be able to stabilize. XL2 now retreating off the point. I feel like XL2 might have just pulled the trigger a little bit early there. I understand, Mangachu, you got the DMAC onto the Diva. You're going to have free reign with that Blizzard. He could have held onto it a little bit longer because they were already winning up that fight.
It's very likely they could have played it a little bit differently. I'm not going to be too harsh because they did get 2 ticks in the end, even with the advantage they had. So it's not like they went in and then got absolutely nothing, right? But now they go in again, and they open up with the Blizzard again, lowering the temperature as Flower gets decapitated right at the back. Reach moving, making that happen with Kevster. You can see Mangachu just turning to an ice block on the point, and it's not quite the best engage for XL2. They don't get much off the Blizzard, but it's really Reach that disrupted it on the back.
Yep, just using the blade to shut down that fight. So Flower is going to swap off, and now Mangachu is also swapping himself. So now we have the Sombra and the Tracer out as Midnight. It's a tough life, the life of a diva.
It is, especially in getting staggered like that. And I would just note here for XL2, they're swapping to Sombra, normally be angry at this, but they only need 1 tick. If they use the EMP well, this is still fine.
Yeah, and we get to see like how extended these fights become, that the Sombra can actually play very similar to a Soldier 76, where she just sits on the high ground, gets a hack off, and just shoots people from the high ground on the right-hand side, and continually build up the EMP that way. He's already at 25% now, so they're making their way out to the point. Flower trying to focus down the tanks. Here comes the Coalescence. They're able to get decod.
It got decod immediately, and this is supposed to be a push that XL2 is weaker on. The Coalescence getting more done than expected. They're gonna DMAC the Diva in the process. Flower going wild, going in and around the point right now, and now chasing down the other Tracer. Is he gonna get it? 1 more blink away, and
no
Kevster not dead yet, but still out of the fight for an extended period of time. He's not a threat in the fight while he's getting healed up. Meanwhile, Mangachu has built up an EMP, and the context of this fight alone might just drop it immediately, and does. Wants to put over the top, but they lost Flower. They're investing a lot, and I don't know if this is gonna work out, but they end up with 2, now 3. XL2 fighting their way through. Now they gotta get back onto the point as they get pushed back.
Oh, that was a great hack coming out from Mangachu. Reach did not have his cooldowns there. He was not able to dash into them. And so Goliath with the Coalescence, cleaning up Ajax and Kevster. That will be XL2 completing this out with a much larger time bank than LNL. So they've got 2 minutes and 50 seconds. That is 2-3 more pushes than LNL will have.
LNL, to be clear, and you look back at their first push, if this was their first attack all over again, they would not get even a tick on first. So LNL, they need to change their approach here. They need to be far more aggressive than they were. They need to get multiple reps on the point, and they need to deal with their indecision problem on point A, where they consistently go, do we go in, do we not go in, and just waste pushes worth at a time over and over again.
Yeah, so XL2, they saw nothing wrong at all with their defense, and they've read LNL right. I mean, LNL don't go for like the triple tank, quad tank setup here at all, so they don't have to change anything from XL2, and especially with the potency that Flower or Mangachu had on both of these heroes. And so now LNL, again, I do worry about them. Their dive was not good enough. It was not executed fast enough. I mean, last time it was off of the swap off coming out from Reach, though, so he's going to start off on Widow. But the thing is, the last time he swapped off onto Widow was after Flower had swapped off of Widow himself onto a Tracer. So he's not going to have that same kind of opening.
No, he's not. And you think back how LNL took the point. It's not because they had some sort of brilliant engage. They had probably the most just bungled engage you could hope for that was saved by great Widow play. And Flower, he's going to be looking at Reach as public enemy #1.
It's interesting right now, Flower's not actually playing behind the Orisa shield. Reach is trying to use the third person, and he will be able to use that to get some information. Kevster is now onto the point, so XL2 will start falling back.
He draws away Mangachu. Mangachu's already gotten 33%, so he was chunking down both Decod and Fried pretty well when they were setting up. Draws a little bit of attention to the back, waiting for the front line to come in. Now, for Reach, you have to be careful what you're looking at. He's getting under pressure from Orisa alone, and oh, we're still in there. Alternate feed, activate.
And so now Kevster, he is forced off the point as Flower is able to get the D-Mech onto Fried. And so LNL, oh, they took so long setting that up. Now they're down to 29 seconds.
Well, you got both tanks. They must reset. They get one more time, and did they get some in the moment? Kevster must be looking for the fight back at spawn.
Yeah, I'm not sure if someone fell or not. It's interesting that he's all the way ran over there now, but we'll see.
I think everyone is up and at the point right now. If he's looking for someone, they might have gotten res, so there could be a bit of a confusion there. Either way, Kevster is down deep. LNL moving in into Ajax. He gets picked both supports down. Flower stepping on the throat of the leftovers. Oh my word.
3 people on the point though. They need to go ahead and get there. There we go. Overtime ticking away. They are going to contest just before the tick goes on over. Clone Man able to take out Decod as the Valkyrie is going to be used here. They want to just win out this fight without giving up anything. Mangachu now getting all the damage across. Here's a retire. That is going to connect. Ajax falls. Overtime still ticking away as LNL don't want to go quietly into that good night, but they will be forced to. And so now XL2, they're gonna have 2 minutes and 50 seconds just to get a third.
Just in case
you can't escape him.
If you thought that Flower had any mercy in his cold beating heart, that probably isn't beating. The answer is no. He kills Dummy once more. I mean, what more do you want from your Widowmaker where he just assassinates both supports early on? But also, to be fair, that was a rough way to go in for LNL. You literally exposed both supports to Flower and said, yeah, you're not going to do it. And Flower goes, actually, yes, I am, good sir. I'm going to kill both your supports. Like,
yeah, you saw. There was no panic whatsoever. It was just cool, measured shots coming out from him. He wasn't able to hit the headshots, but, you know, 2 body shots, as long as it converts into an elimination, is good enough. And so now, LNL, they want to... Actually, no. This series is over for them, as XL2, even if they draw this out, it leaves the possibility of LNL even trying to send this to a 5th map just gone. And so now it will be XL2. They are your series winner.
They're your series winner, and LNL, to a degree, you're playing for pride here. You're certainly not playing to get into the playoffs anymore. And again, it's just showing off individually, because don't forget, within all of this here, more than anything else, you just want to make a name for yourself, because the end goal is for these players to get an OWL, not necessarily winning as a team.
Yep, indeed. And so now take a look. LNL, they are going to be running, of course, that Widowmaker and Junkrat composition here. Mangachu once again with that May. So we'll see. It wasn't as effective as before, but the wall-up is there, but he's already dropped down 15 HP. Kevster finishes him off.
Deja vu all over again. That's exactly what I started before, where Mangachu sacrifices his body to try and make it work, and it just doesn't in the end. Either way, though, XL2, they get into the point. LNL not trying to harass them here, and they're giving some time for XL2 to reset.
Yeah, I mean, XL2, they do have the time, right? They only need to get 1/3 here. And you can see LNL, they are doing their due diligence. They are not going to get caught out by that weird left-hand side push, the blast doors push again.
Oh my word. Just when you think it's like, they're not looking at me. Yeah, they are. Mangachu getting bopped again, and he might actually swap off in the May here. I mean, the goal was to go for the same split, and yeah, Mangachu, he's done. He's gonna go. Surely he won't hit me while stealth, although Kevster's really close to recon site, so can we go for the 3?
Well, this just looks like the space horror movie, right? Where they have to constantly check all the doors because XL2 are lurking right outside.
Safely getting Mangachu.
Oh no.
Oh no! Why?
Oh,
how does this keep happening? Oh
Recon
my word.
Visor's up. That was an easy shot for Kevster. Now they have delayed them for 1 minute and 20 seconds. XL2, it's coming down to the wire. All this time, they haven't been able to build up ultimate. Take a look, Cloman's at 50%, Midnight's at 60. Adam and Goliath, you want your support ultimates already at this point. They're just gonna go ahead and brute force their way on in.
They've been waiting for Mangachu, who's constantly dead to Kevster. They have been like, are you there yet? No. Are you there yet? No. Did you get sniped again? Yeah. Either way, XL2 just looking highly confused, but Flower getting dummy, that is exactly what they needed. They dive on in, both supports down, and this should look much better for XL2, unless Reach has to tire the gods, which isn't gonna happen, as Flower is taking matters into his own hands.
And yeah, they're just burning away at them, slowly grinding Pride down. So they will push forward. Goliath will be able to get the heads up. Flower will, and so now they're just gonna go ahead and apply bodies onto the point. Last minute tires, not gonna even be able to make it there. And so XL2 will take the series win with a 3-0.
Wow. That last attack, that was something.
That was slow. It was something.
I love watching May in these massive team fights.
Yeah.
Like, because you know she's not a troll pick, but she feels like a troll pick when you're on the other team.
And especially if you continue to run it after getting picked like 3 times trying to make that same push. Yeah.
No. The part that like blows my mind where it's just like, wait, what are you doing? He got through his Sombra, even with the recon sight up because D.Va came in and protected him. And then he decides to walk back out, not in stealth. And Kev's just like, weren't you through? Whatever. Boop. Like this. Like, why?
We saw quite a lot of hang time out of Kevster's Widowmaker.
Well, they weren't really running the composition to try and contest it, right? Usually you just go full out dive and try to dive onto the Widow, but they went for a counter Widow themselves along with the May Winston D.Va. Not the most synergy there in that composition, but yeah. Every time Mangachu tried to get in, there we go.
Like, what is it? They safely got him through. He's through. He's good. And then wait. It's like, wait. No. Oh! Like,
yeah.
God, why?
He's like, I totally got them. It's, gonna break their ankles, but no, it didn't.
So this is going back now a little bit on Horizon. We saw Mangachu pull out Doomfist. Yep. Were either of you guys surprised or otherwise enthused by this?
Well, no, that's the emergency Doomfist, right? I say it not as a joke, but it is sort of the matters of, oh, we're losing this point horribly. Throw into anything that can get onto the point quickly and maybe get a pickoff. Doomfist hits both qualifications because he can burst stuff down quickly if he does land a punch. And, well, he has mobility. He can get back on there in a flash when you're trying to get delays. So that's why you see Doomfist come to play for teams sporadically when they are losing the final point.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want, right? You want damage mitigation, you want the stall, and, of course, one-shot potential. Usually that's something like a D.Va can do, but you want to keep your D.Va player on D.Va. Going over to Doomfist, it's great. It's front-loaded damage. He's surprisingly tanky with his passive, and then, of course, he has a lot of mobility.
Alrighty, so we have talked quite a bit about Kevster's Widowmaker, and now let's talk about Flower's Widowmaker, who was also not too shabby with these repeated headshots, just chunking down the other team.
you give Flower opportunities like that, he is going to beat you. It's not a question of like, oh, is Flower like, is this something he's capable of doing? It's like, yes, it is. Do not give both your supports a situation where they're out in the open and Flower's getting free shots because they're probably going to die.
Yeah. So another thing that we, I guess actually let's go into map selection real quick. We're going to Dorado. This is very exciting. This is one of, I believe, your favorite maps, CP.
It is, and it's not because I am in the pocket of Lumerico Corporation, the world's greatest energy company that is very community-oriented and never does a wrong thing.
In other teams that we've seen play throughout not just Group A, but Group B this whole entire season, we've seen certain players get focused down religiously. And it doesn't matter, it could be a good DPS player, it could be a good tank player. There's always certain players. As we get into game, talk a little bit about who does LNL need to focus down on XL2?
Well, I think the part of the game plan here was that they want to eliminate the number of targets that they need to focus down. Because they're not taking it to Junkertown, right? They're not taking it to Junkertown where they would have to worry about like a double sniper composition, right? So they don't have to want to worry about like the Hanzo and Widowmaker that they could possibly have run. And so I think that's what they're already doing by taking it to Dorado here, but they're still going to have to worry about it, right? Because they're going to have to worry about now Mangachu's Pharah along with the Widowmaker coming out from XL2. There it is.
I also think to a degree this is just let's get Enlar some playtime where we've seen him LNL like twice, both on Dorado. So we'll see if Enlar can take Mangachu out of the skies. Why not? He's on the team. Give him some playtime in a context where now I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we haven't actually seen that much of him. He possibly comes in like maybe one map in every series so far now. As LNL now pushing forward with the payload. And we'll see if they can break through this. Mangachu though getting some good spam off, and we got to see them have great point A holds.
Meanwhile, Mangachu on this defensive Pharah, just making sure no one's going up the outskirts, covering both ends. And Enlar, it's his job to deal with Mangachu. Widow, very good at dealing with defensive Pharahs, where if he were to turn the corner here, he gets the free shot. That was a winnable shot, even as he's under pressure, but in a professional level, sometimes you only get one chance, and you need to make the most of it.
Yeah, the halt almost taking him out there, but Decod is the one under pressure. He's at 200 HP, getting shelled down by Mangachu. He's just playing the skybox there. He's got the Mercy pocketing him, but it's Flower take out Fried.
And again, Enlar is getting opportunities to get off Mangachu here, but you get one, maybe two shots. You gotta make sure where those shots is going towards the head. Oh. And he just gets dunked on. Most of the damage coming from the rockets on top. Goliath's gonna fish it out. And Flower on the defensive Widow has been great so far.
Defensive Widow, I mean, take a look at his position now. He's pushed all the way up, and Mangachu is just still spamming away at them, and it's leaving LNL really indecisive in how they want to approach this. A lot of teams, you know, when they do try to make this approach, they want to take that right-hand side, but still, they're taking way too long. A minute and 30 is already gone. Mangachu with another pick onto Reach.
I don't think Mangachu has any respect right now for Enlar. Like, when you're challenging a Widow like he just did there, you feel like, no, he's not going to dink me in the head. That's not going to happen. And for now, Enlar hasn't done anything to change that assumption of Mangachu's.
Yeah, Mangachu still up in the skies, just playing the skybox now, and no one can actually dethrone him. He's doing a really good job of also just, you know, just mechanically, because every time he shoots out a rocket and he knows that he's within sight of Enlar, he's turning away, so the headshot is not as easy. That's something you do have to actually be aware of now. But there we go. Here comes the engage. We have the Valkyries out. It's Fried Arena starting it off. Clone Man has fallen.
They focus on Clone Man, but they're not able to finish off Mangachu. He's gonna get healed back up. Still under pressure. Reach trying to be the anti-air. Now, Flower's already down, so it is up to Mangachu to go back in and save this, and, well, he's very far from the point. Very, very far. So they're not even gonna go for it. LNL, they only get a few pickoffs, but it's enough to get them the point.
Yeah, half the team going down for XL2, and so the other half just full-on retreat. Clone Man now swapping off onto the Winston because, well, high ground is very important here. And so we'll see. Reach, he does have the blade ready. Mangachu got a little bit stuck there. He's going on a really long flanking route.
Well, this is a pretty aggressive second point hold. They lose Flower early on, and Mangachu doesn't really see a good opportunity for the barrage. And while they dive in, they haven't done much. Now he drops the barrage, gets one, and ends up falling. D.Va rolls into his face and just splashes himself to death in the moment.
Yeah, we have even the self-destruct coming up from Fry just to get back into his mech. Will Midnight use his? Looks like he did. There we go. He gets finished off. Oh, no, never mind. He did not use his self-destruct. And so Enlair, now with the Widowmaker, started to push up. He's got the infra sight up as Mangachu has swapped off onto the Junkrat now.
Mangachu still not really respecting Widowmaker that much, even on the Junkrat. And the Junkrat swaps interesting, and hey, maybe he should have respected. He finally gets punished, but he also has Adam near the res, so there is a degree of, we're so far back, you can't really punish this, even if you do get it. And now XL2 is going to be coming back up, contesting the high ground. Enlar looking for the tank chunks, not going to get it. And Flower got reach on the flip side, which gives XL2 so much more room to work with.
Yeah, XL2 were just biding their time for the payload to make it to just below that bridge. It's one of the harder pushes to make here on second stage of Dorado. Mangachu, oh boyo. He's got to be careful trying to challenge Enlair here because Enlair's had his number since he swapped off.
I mean, there's two types of Widows. There's Widows that go for the head and Widows that go for the body. Right now, Enlar's all about the body. Now, obviously, he's trying to land the headshots, but most of the damage he's done has been glancing. He hasn't been able to get pickoffs you would like to be looking for here. And XL2, they're just never really under threat.
Yeah, and this is the position that you want to be. I mean, that's why they stuffed the payload right there at that choke point. It allows the Widowmaker a lot more space. It becomes very difficult for LNL to try and push in with their tanks. We've got the Valkyrie early on out. Mangachu has to be careful. He's getting pressured down, but it's D-Cod who has to fall away.
Meanwhile, Mangachu's taken down. He was really far out, wasn't able to get away. Enlar, that time, gonna connect on the head. Mangachu gets brought back up. Adam risks it. It works out. Meanwhile, Clo-Man, Primal Rage making room, reaching, going on the other side. Blade out and shut down! Flower stops him mid-blade, keeping XL2 in a very good spot.
Adam was just one swipe away from going down. Now Flower's still here on the high ground, and no one is doing anything about that as LNL just back away. Now they're down to 1 minute and 15 seconds. There's just a few short meters away from securing second, moving on to third, but it's Mangachu now with the Riptire. He is going to be one force and needs to be dislodged from the high ground here.
And the tire could buy them time where if he were to launch the tire right now, which he very well likely do, and there he does. If he just gets one, that puts LNL in a situation where they're not going to get the level of pressure they want. Now, this tire has a long way to go to actually hit A1. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, dashing through, 48 HP. No, shut down in a moment. Still bought time in and of itself, though.
Yeah, we went from 1 minute and 10 seconds now down to 40 seconds here. Dummy was the one that was able to clear it, but once again, Mangachu here on the high ground. Both high grounds, left and right, controlled now by XL2. Flower dropped a little bit low, but the Widow's Mine will be able to force back Reach just a bit. And so Flower pushes forward. Oh, Reach got caught in the trap.
Got caught. He's going to get rezzed up here potentially. Ajax gets the res. Flower not quite able to punish it. Flower going to use Recon Sight here towards the end. Going to give him the edge in the Widow v Widow against Enlar, who's at 70%. Flower moving back the other way. Widow in his sights all the while. Mangachu using the sight to look below him for a good entry. D-Con getting focused really heavily here. Down he goes. And XL2 already ahead in the tank battle. You see the Diva pushing the cart all on her lonesome here. Pride going to be taken down as a result, and Flower hasn't been dealt with at all, just to be clear.
And Ajax got nothing to do with, of course, that Valkyrie here, and overtime ticks away. It's just last-minute stalls coming out. But will Reach be able to do anything? No, it's Mangachu once again shutting it down with that Riptire. Now it's D-Cod's turn. He does have the orb, but there's just so much exploding around him that he will fall. LNL not able to secure second.
I mean, name a more iconic duo than a team getting held on Dorado second, because that is, you know, it's not a point that people have had a whole lot of success getting through here at the Contenders level, and that was another moment. And to a degree, look, deal with the Widowmaker. That should have been Enlar applying pressure to Flower, and yet it almost felt like they weren't interacting all that much at all. Enlar was looking for picks on one side, Flower was looking for picks on the other, and Flower was far more effective.
And really, this map pool just did not work out in LNL's favor at all. It heavily favored XL2, especially when you come down to this full escort map choice. Between Dorado and between Junkertown, it's pick the lesser of two evils, right? You're going to either deal with Mangachu's Pharah and Flower's Widowmaker, or you go over to Junkertown and you deal with Mangachu's Hanzo and Flower's Widowmaker. At this point, though, I don't know which one you pick.
Let me ask you this, looking at LNL's current team composition as they come out of the defense. Who's dealing with Mangachu here?
I think it's going to be Dummy. Somehow, Dummy's just going to be pointing his nails to the sky and hope he deals with it. But yeah, this is not looking good already for LNL's defense.
You know, can we just get super long nails Moira, where she just lets it go for another, I don't know, 10 years, and she just starts slashing fires out of the sky? Because we're not there yet, and that's probably not a good strategy for dealing with Mangachu.
Yeah, no, you just got to make sure you have coalescence for every fight, right? Take the Mercy and the Pharah out of the sky. I think that's the game plan here. Or maybe Reach. I don't know. This is such a tough proposition. Now, you do have all the different high grounds for a Sombra to try and use, but that's right there. Right there outside of spawn. That's the only spot that you're really going to be able to catch out Mangachu with that here on first.
Right now, so long as Flower can perform as normal level and Mangachu does well, this feels like a composition win for XL2 in the moment. It would require LNL to play out of their minds on both Tracer and Sombra, and frankly, the Sombra's going to have to catch Mangachu in some very rough spots. That's one of them, and they get him down early, so that's the first part. And as you mentioned, it's that early high ground, but are they going to be able to do that moving on forward and do that consistently to the point that's a hold? It's going to be difficult.
It looks like they want to try. They haven't, fallen back at all because they understand that that's the only way they can really try and shut down Mangachu with this composition right now. Reach is probably waiting for his translocator to get back up there. Mangachu is now pushing forward, but he is getting some good damage off.
That was so much splash in the mode. Everyone's clumped up. Mangachu has to be licking his chops right now for the opportunity that was just afforded to him. XL2 approaching on all angles. No one's worrying about Flowery because rockets raining from above. And spin your Diva Mech all you want, Fry, but you are going to get knocked right on out of it. XL2 making the second fight much better as Midnight just collects.
And that was their best bet for the hold there. They will have, of course, another opportunity because they were holding so far up. But again, we're running into that issue. How do we deal with Mangachu in the sky? If he can skybox properly, he should be able to dodge out the individual hack, but he needs to be at the absolute ceiling of this map once we get here, because it is a little bit more elevated.
Well, the other issue is, too, do you really want your Sombra to be chasing a far around for a hack that may or may not even happen? It's probably not the greatest use at the moment. Now, they do focus on Midnight, who's a little bit far out. He drops a self-destruct, and again, before the D-Mech, they do. Enlar was right on top of it. Midnight not going to re-mech, and oh my goodness, Decon's still alive. Mangachu just hit him once. Once is all I say. Finally finishes him off. But enough damage was done to the XL2 line that they have to wait a little bit.
And Mangachu just on the longest wild gorilla chase there, going after Decod. But it's okay, it's Winston. If he falls, he'll be able to make it back onto the point. He's got his jump pack now, but still, again, how do you deal with Mangachu in the sky? He's taking very little damage, and so at that point, of course, Adam can just give him the damage boost the entire time. Flower doesn't even need it as Reach falls.
And it didn't hit Mangachu. Mangachu is able to barrage, so the hack or the EMP does not get on him. He was out of it to begin with. As one person really needed the hit. And you see Decod making room in the back as Flower goes on Decod's wild ride. Does not survive in the end, but you see XL2 applying the pressure. Decod really can't get to safety here in the moment. He's going to be focused heavily, and yet he's able to back out. XL2 doesn't punish him for being that far out in the moment. He's able to regroup in the back, and XL2 kind of lets an opportunity slip through their fingers. You still have Mangachu.
Oh, no.
Oh, get away, get away. Self-destruct, not going to hit him. A nice use of concussive blast midair. Now he can come back in. Flower on the ground. No longer the Widow on the Tracer. Diving on in. Seeking out opportunities in the moment, but Flower, 1 HP, falls to Fried.
And Decod was able to stay alive, most importantly, through that. Adam will be able to get the rest somehow off onto Flower, even though that was right on the front line. And so with Fried going on down, it looks like they have the bodies, they have the damage there. The pulse bomb will take care of Mangachu, but they have lost all of their members here to try and contest this. As soon as, of course, Decod falls along with Endlayer, it'll be XL2 securing second. So we move forward now into the next phase of this map. LNL, they have to hold for 3 minutes.
Oh, they have to hold for a really long time, and XL2 was not anywhere near as down as they probably should have been. They weren't able to capitalize on certain opportunities, but LNL still unable to hold for a long time. You see Enlar swapping to the Widowmaker, so things are going to get particularly tougher here for Mangachu. He wants no part. He's going 76.
Soldier 76. We'll see if he can get the high ground here. Midnight already challenging it, but Reach is already in position, so he has to be careful. He doesn't want to get hacked, because if you get hacked, that might be
EMP.
EMP comes in over the top. Mangachu is the focus of that dive, and now they're after Midnight.
You think switching to 76 would save you? No. Reach going in. Got the hack on the Flower, falling immediately, and LNL, it was risky to go in as deep as they did there, but they said, nope, we think we can do this, and it works out. They push XL2 back.
They pushed XL2 back, but I think they used a lot more than they were expecting to. Coalescence, along with the Primal Rage, the EMP. So now, XL2, they've got a lot of ultimates in the bank here. They just need to keep Mangachu alive throughout this. It's going to be Adam pushing forward now with the Valkyrie.
Meanwhile, Enlar was looking for the Widow on Widow battle. Flower back to Widow. XL2 taking the fight more in the alleyway. Self-destruct, better move. Moving LNL back, but Ajax wasn't able to quite get out of danger. Mangachu caught him on the flank. Now they're moving in even deeper here. Cloman disrupting the back of his Primal Rage. Gonna be sending Moira so far away from the fight. A punch to the back of the head. Clone Man making space when it's the most. And by the way, Fried's not getting healed up as that's going on because their Moira got punched back into Sunday.
And it's just down to Enlayer to try and stall this out, but I like the approach that LNL are taking right now. They need to make XL2 fight for every single inch. This is very similar to when we were playing triple DPS a year ago, right? It was just making sure that you fought for every single second of time on the clock now. And so, LNL, they're gonna have another opportunity to come in for a recontest. Reach, he's making his way on the back. He's almost got his EMP, he's at 89%.
And the EMP is gonna be crucial here if he can get it online in time. Flower, meanwhile, applying pressure on the Widowmaker. 95% for Reach. Is he going to be able to do it? These small percentages can be a huge difference, but he gets the EMP time, but while he does, Enlar falls. An opportunity kind of lost here. Dummy down. Mangachu down in the back. The attack visor already in progress. He doesn't mind. All the kills going the way of XL2 as they bamboozle LNL at the top level attack. Self-destruct gets Mangachu, but not much else. And XL2 very close to that final box of victory.
Very close. They did lose Mangachu throughout that, but still, the tanks are being supported now. They do have the Biotic Orb keeping them alive, but Adam now with the res onto Mangachu. Here comes the self-destruct over the top. Almost caught him out, but they were able to dodge it out. But Clone Man with the Primal Rage takes Enlayer out. They're about to get the D-Mech, and Sprite now have gone. Now the tank line is falling for LNL.
LNL struggling to maintain as Flower one after another. There's a Widow behind you. Please deal with them. Flower just crushing the hopes of LNL. Dummy, one of the final ones up alive as Flower continues to just shoot LNL in the back of the head. Overtime is over. It's XL2's map. They take the series. Of course, they already had the series, but why not finish it out strong?
Congratulations to XL2. Now, we have to, I would have to count, but this puts them pretty close to taking first seed, yeah?
No, they were at 7 maps, so 4 maps, they're only at 11.
Sorry, not first seed, but securing them to basically be in playoffs. They're done.
Oh, they're secured. They're secured. But it just matters, are they going to be in third or fourth?
Yeah, exactly.
They are very likely going to be in third.
They would rather be in third, too. Yes. Absolutely. Okay, so XL2 was really good. Either XL2 was really good at it or LNL was really bad at it, but ult management. XL2, I saw a lot of them being able to force out ults from LNL, but also, like you had mentioned with Winston's Primal Rage, they're kind of unnecessarily, and the Coalescence unnecessarily coming out. How do you feel? Do you feel like they were getting bullied into that, or is XL2 or is LNL just that kind of lax with their ult management?
LNL's had really rough ults pretty much the entire series long, where they've overlaid support ults more than one, or in more than one occasion, where I'm not sure they always know what one hand is doing, where the left hand says go in, the right hand says wait. So, I mean, this has been a trend for LNL pretty much, not just tonight, but all throughout Contenders as a whole, and it's to be expected to a degree. They are one of the most green teams here. They had to fight their way through Contenders trials, and you know, it's not the worst showing for LNL over the course of this, but there's clearly a difference in team caliber across the board. All
right, well, hopefully that's something they can work on for next season. Let's go ahead and run into some awesome replay. Here we have Mangachu on Soldier 76. Break down what we're looking at.
I mean, what happened here was that LNL were just trying to play the clock, right? They want to try and burn as much time away from XL2. Even if they lose this fight, they are doing a good job of just staggering this out. But that's why you got to see Mangachu just push forward with that Soldier 76, catching out the Lucio, catching out the Sombra out of position because, well, they were going to trade away for it anyway. They just want to burn that clock.
Well, to be clear, the context of this was that the self-destruct came in from XL2 right before midnight, threw the self-destruct in the hallway. So while everyone was trying to get away from the self-destruct, Mangachu is there going, oh, you've gifted me a Lucio. Of course I will shoot him. And it was the setup from midnight that gave so much room to Mangachu in that moment.
So we had another, this is a standout kind of performance here. This is Enlar. This is Enlar on Tracer. Let's talk a little bit about what we saw and what you guys expected from this.
I mean, he was a great substitution coming into this. Now, I'm not going to say Kevster wasn't doing his job throughout the rest of the maps, but, you know, Endler was able to step in almost seamlessly, fill the Widow role, fulfill the Tracer role, and wasn't bad at all coming out from him.
Well, Endler, I mean, it's kind of back and forth. I mean, this Tracer wasn't too bad. I would say arguably Widowmaker in the very beginning. He was not getting much at all in the very beginning where, I mean, the level of disrespect that Mangachu is showing him, especially early on Dorado, is like, yeah, I'm just going to shoot you. Is that, I will tell you this much, if you're up against a super top tier Widowmaker, Pharahs don't do that for long. They get bopped in the head once and they go, I will hide from you now. You can end me very easily. And Endler didn't really inspire that fear in Mangachu.
Alrighty, so we have our Old Spice player of the match, and it's going to go to Flower on Widowmaker.
Yeah.
I mean, this was just a shooting gallery for him. Watch as they approached, right? I mean, that should not have happened, right? If you're going to make that approach with a Lucio and a Zenyatta, the Zenyatta should be there for the speed boost. He shouldn't be just peeking the corner after the Lucio's just died. That was just a huge disconnect.
I have a question for you guys. So we saw a huge difference between obviously Flower's Widowmaker, a lot of the Widowmakers that we've seen, and Endler's Widowmaker, which was very conservative. You were talking about how he wasn't necessarily going for headshots, he was focusing body shots. That could have been a skill thing, but also it could have been a tactic. When do you see more conservative Widow play paying off?
I mean, usually never in regards to that. I mean, it's a case where if people are really far out and you're getting consistent damage, it's fine. But for the most part, if you have a far in the back that's getting supported by Mercy, right? If you don't land a headshot, more than likely the far's going to go, oh, I've been wounded. I'm going to back out and let myself get healed. In that case, a headshot is pretty much the only thing that's going to deal with the far in that situation.
Yeah, so I guess to summarize, Widowmaker isn't meant to do poke damage. She's meant to finish it off.
I mean, on the offense, that's when you do have to be a lot more aggressive. On the defense, like we saw on Horizon, that's where Flower is just able to play behind, of course, the Orisa shield. He's got all the support behind him. I mean, that's very similar to the way that, like, San Francisco Shock play Baby Bay when he's on the Widowmaker. It's a lot of support for him, so he can just stay there, be very passive with it, and allow people to walk into his crosshairs. And then, at times, after, of course, he gets 1 or 2 pickoffs, then you go aggressive onto them, but not until you have the lead.
Alrighty, well, we are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're jumping right back into it. We're going to see Mayhem versus Toronto. Congratulations again to XL2 on that sweep. We'll see you in a minute. Stay tuned.